was the retail project planner for 2 years. I'm currently working as the project engineer on the Westfield Workplace fit out.
My name's Peter, I'm the security supervisor on the construction side.
My name is Eddie Cudd. I work for Lindors Cranes. We've been manning the cranes on this job for the last 2.5 years.
My name's Reg, and I'm the material handler for the bricklayers. We get all the material around the job.
I'm Don, I drive a dolly Mac.
Yeah, I'm Rooster. I work at the Westfield project. I'm a hoist driver, take men up and down, material, all day long.
Ron Chowder. I am apprentice carpenter for Westfields.
My name's Alistair and I'm a hoist driver. Stage 1 was crazy, madness.
It was just chaos. When it was all finished, it looked fantastic. It's probably one of the best projects I've seen in all the years in the industry.
It's marvellous, it's brilliant, it's beyond expectation.
It's beautiful down there.
When I take my parents and other people through the mall, I feel that little bit sentimental and remember the bare structure and some of the things that are hidden behind those elements. That there's a lot of people who can agree there's been a lot of blood, sweat and tears go into making this place look so amazing and be the space that it is today.
It was a wonderful moment in the history of our company that so overwhelmingly exceeded everybody's expectations, and more importantly it's really brought a heart back to our wonderful city, and we've turned what were 3 very old and dated buildings on what we regard as the #1 retail site in Australia, and we've turned it into the most highest standard world-class project which has really created a heartbeat back in the city.
The Stage 2 opening, I think, brought it quite together. While there wasn't a number of shops open in the Stage 2, it really did see, you could actually for the first time see what the completed centre was going to really look like. And I think it's been a fantastic addition for it.
I think that the Stage 2 really started to give the whole project its overall look and feel.
Stage 2 opening, that had its own challenges. We had to continue the construction now in a trading centre, so there was a lot of issues with disruption and noise, but it's a testament to the management, design and construction team that we hung on to the program. In fact, we brought it forward from originally a post-Easter opening to the 20th of April.
And so in a sense, Stage 2 was a question about, well, really what's that going to do, because so much of it's been revealed.
Many of our shoppers are wondering what is to come, because the centre in fact presents and looks like it's open. It's around keeping the ambience and the dream alive and keeping people interested in what is to come.
The opening of Zara, JB Hi-Fi and another 20 odd shops on the 20th of April, just before Easter, was a huge achievement, a huge success.
The opening of the first Zara store in Australia, and more importantly into Westfield Sydney, has been a very interesting journey for the entire team and the entire company.
The amount of anticipation, the amount of people who were waiting for it was extraordinary.
The crowds, the anticipation and the success of that Zara opening is second to none.
New food and fashion have made a huge difference. I think the food particularly, I think we've taken Sydney by storm. I think everybody was shocked. I think they heard about the proposal to have two-hatted chefs, but I think when it finally opened, they actually saw what we produced, and I think the success of it has been fantastic.
In terms of food on 5, what we delivered on the ground in stage 1 was very much a small insight, I think, into what we're going to deliver as part of the second stage and the ongoing openings on level 5.
So to see it all come together with the facade shops and the facade of the building and it to be continuous, yeah, that's really pleasing to see that we've contributed something back to the city.
We set new standards in international design with the whole Castlereagh Street level. We've really created something that you'd be proud of, whether it's on 5th Avenue or Rodeo Drive or on New Bond Street in London. I mean, we've really created something really first class and dynamic and exciting in an Australian context. I think that the culture of a company should come through in its office premises. And to have an ability to have our corporate head office sitting on top of Westfield Sydney, which is one of our highest valued and most iconic assets and a crowning achievement of our business in Australia, is a very proud thing to do. Every day, 600-700 people are going to be going through that building who live and work in the company. In 1958, the company was started by my father and John Saunders, and then we were listed in 1960, so the roots of the company are in Sydney.
The time it took from when Mr Lowy made his announcement on the 1st of September last year to relocating on the 27th of June, that's just a 10-month time frame. And I reflect back on that time, the first month we just span wheels. We were wondering what to actually do.
We undertook a lot of consultation with the team and many meetings working out what were the fears, what were the concerns.
But we got the right consultant team around us, the right people in the business around. We had very strong collaboration between all divisions, particularly design and construction, and the consultant team.
The new Westfield workplace was shaped really by the strategic business brief that we were given by Westfield. Woods Bagot drew very strongly on what this business was really motivated in changing. So a very successful business already, but they were looking to leverage more collaboration in the business and bring the teams together.
We had the opportunity to start with a clean sheet of paper to think about all the issues, and in fact we went out and asked all of our staff what they thought we should be looking for in a move, and the results of that research were really interesting and I think reflected where the business wants to be in the future.
The whole vision for these offices was really a bit of a challenge because, in a sense, the large floor plates were seen as a huge benefit, but they're separated by the core of Sydney Tower, and there was a really large focus on how do we get such large floor plates to reflect the company that Westfield is, the ethos of its people, the values of its people, without it looking like a call centre, without character and faceless.
This design is distinct and unique. From the first instance, it's got 3 staircases across a big floor plate. Any team can be next to another one, but also right above or below a team at the same time. So it's a really distinctive feature of this workplace, how connected it really is.
So much business and so much intellect happens informally. Walking through corridors, seeing somebody, thinking of an idea, come and let's sit down and have a cup of coffee.
So the hub spaces, the social spaces where people bump into each other, really creates that social connection as well as the work connection. So how was the weekend turns into what project are you working on?
None of that can really happen when you have a small floor plate because you don't see people. And when you don't see them, you don't think of them and you don't think of ideas. And so the whole idea of moving was driven about ideas, communication.
Collaboration, innovation, making sure people moved around the building and saw each other. So we had the chance really to say, this is a world-class company, we've got world-class retail, let's go along and sit on top of our retail, but at the same time look at our workspace and make it the most productive that we can. So it was a great opportunity to really sit down from scratch and plan out how we'd like to be in a modern world.
Physically moving 600 people over a weekend into a new building and ensuring that they operated efficiently on day one.
We had a lot of uncertainty when the big day came, and we had all of the logistics organised. Was how were things really going to go?
And seeing people's faces on that first morning, I think they were quite surprised with the design and how good it looked and how open plan it was, and really space wasn't an issue.
By lunchtime on the very first day, people were walking around saying, wow, hasn't this been a seamless move? Things have gone so well. I was at my desk and working by about 9:30 or 10 in the morning. I thought I'd have to write the day off. So all of the vibe that we saw in the building was so positive and people were energised. And I think this has been a great fresh start for people to be able to come across here, get up and running, new technology, new environment, shared kitchens, people are walking around talking to each other. So I think just the enthusiasm that you could see on people's face was to me the most positive part of this change. People were looking forward to a new future here at Westfield.
Fantastic. There you go. The new offices will help guide Westfield's future, but I think it's incumbent upon all the people that are working here to actually do that. I think we've been given a workplace that allows us to work better together, but still it's up to the people who are working here to actually hold on to the values that we have and the history that we have to guide our future.
So from a historical, a cultural perspective, it was a very important move. But then because of the modernity of the floor plates and the ability to build modern office complexes, I think we will work much better together. We've made it have a much more open plan environment. And that combined with the whole package and the completion of the office tower, of course, at 85 Castlereagh Street, which will bring the headquarters of our company to Westfield, Sydney. It'll also be the Australian headquarters of one of the world's largest banks, JP Morgan.
In the last few months we've signed up Allen & Overy, the Australian operation of one of the Magic Circle law firms out of the UK, which they've introduced their practice into Australia in the last 12 months.
In the corporate side of the business, we're really looking forward to joining the Australian team. And the whole concept of having part of the business in 100 Market Street, part of the business in 85 Castlereagh Street, we will work as one integrated corporation in facilities that will give the best possible opportunity for us to work together, communicate together and have a bit of fun along the way.
Everybody was looking forward to actually seeing the sign go up. It is such an iconic site in the city that to have Westfield's name on it is probably a second to none in our business.
I think a crowning achievement for not just the Westfield Sydney project, but to have the Westfield sign so large, so glowing, so overarching our magnificent city. It's really a wonderful feeling, and I have no doubt that every Westfield executive is very proud. But I would imagine the broader Sydney community would be very proud, because we are so much a part of Sydney. We're of course a global company now, but the roots of the company are in Sydney. So to build what is the crowning achievement for our company in building Westfield Sydney, and then having our brand on top of one of the most iconic buildings in Australia, is really wonderfully fulfilling. From a personal perspective, it was very important for us, because at the time all this was happening, unfortunately, our chairman, my father, was in hospital. The sign was actually up while he was in hospital. He spent an extended period of time there. It didn't only bring a great sense of joy to our company and bring a great sense of joy to Sydney by having the magnificent Westfield brand sitting on top of the Sydney Tower, but you could actually see that sign from my father's hospital bed. And I know it brought an amazing feeling to him and a great sense of joy.
I'm really very proud of what you all have done and created Westfield Sydney. Westfield Sydney is now an iconic development, the best in the world. Well, there is a little bit of a joke about it, that we have the office above the shop, which is kind of quite cute. But really this project is so wonderful, so successful. Like all projects, what we do at Westfield, it has to be and is the best possible outcome that one can achieve.